Good morning, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to SOAS. And Victor, thank you very much indeed for that introduction. I'm delighted that we are joined this morning by our very special guest, Dr. Patrick Ngoje, the Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya. We're also joined by Dr. Joachim Schwanz, the Bank for International Settlement in Switzerland, a number of guests from diplomatic missions here in London, as well as distinguished scholars. So thank you all very much indeed for being here. Here at SOAS, of course, we take great pride in the good research record of our School of Finance and Management. The School of Finance and Management enjoys significant success in attracting external funding from the UK's national research councils, mainly the Economic and Social Research Council. And of course, our AXA chair is part of that. The SOAS Research Centre for Global Finance, our Centre for Global Finance, as we call it in short, within the School of Finance and Management, is committed to engaging with institutions and scholars globally to conduct and contribute and engage in cutting-edge research, seeking to create knowledge and embed impact that informs policy and improves lives and livelihoods. This conference links very clearly into our SOAS vision and strategy, which talks about shaping scholarship across the humanities and social sciences and promoting social benefit worldwide. It also links into the drive by the SOAS Centre for Global Finance to engage in research that resonates with policy and practice. So it's very much about policy and practice. It's reassuring that as we look around the world today and we see all the kinds of challenges that are happening with respect to financial issues, as we look at households, countries, companies and institutions, including some of our universities, which are continuing to grapple and cope with global financial uncertainty, that we have credible impact research of real-world value. So my thanks to the scholars, the policymakers, and the private sector practitioners who have the time, created the time and the space to be with us over the next 2 days to try to enhance our understanding of the mega trends that shape new developments in finance. The new revolution in financial technologies, FinTech, is one of the mega trends in global finance today. FinTech is revolutionising the role of financial institutions, the behaviour of financial markets, and the scope of financial instruments in developing as well as developed economies. It's transforming our daily economic activity, such as the sending and receiving of money, paying bills, reshaping business models, facilitating financial inclusion, one of the things that I am particularly concerned about, and driving regulatory changes. However, there are so many gaps in our knowledge that require urgent attention. For example, why is the diffusion of FinTech high in some countries and very low in others? And notwithstanding the fact that the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the G20 High-Level Principles for Digital Financial Inclusion highlight the importance of harnessing the potential of FinTech to reduce financial exclusion and promote inclusive growth, we still need hard research to guide us in designing new policy tools. So that's why this conference is so timely. So a huge thank you to the Governor, who has travelled from Kenya to be with us today and to deliver the keynote. He brings with him, of course, a huge amount of experience, his academic credentials. He has a PhD from Yale University, as well as his time at the International Monetary Fund, and now, of course, at the Central Bank of Kenya. We very much value the fruitful relationship we have here at SOAS, and particularly through the Centre for Global Finance and the Central Bank at Kenya. And we thank the Governor for his continued support and engagement with the internal researchers as well as the external fellows of the Centre. We also have a lot of distinguished scholars here from countries and universities around the world. Of course, from the United Kingdom, the USA, the Netherlands, Canada, Ghana, Uganda, Zambia, China, Kenya, as I've already mentioned, India, France, Germany, and Switzerland. And if I have managed to miss out a country that you're from, my apologies. But it is, I think, a very strong testimony to the global networks that are involved in some of the groundbreaking research, which is around sustaining the global competitiveness of the work that we do here at the Centre. It's also important, I think, that we have in the room a number of practitioners from international organisations, such as the United Nations, from some of our diplomatic missions based here in London, private sector companies, wider financial institutions, NGOs, media and think tanks, because I think it really demonstrates the interest in these topics globally. I would also like to acknowledge the research funding bodies that have continued to support the work of the Centre for Global Finance and the papers which are included in the conference programme. In particular, the AXA Research Fund, who are supporting the research programme on megatrends in global finance under the endowment of the AXA Chair in Global Finance here at SOAS. DFID and the ERC, who under the DFID ESRC Growth Research Programme, Call 3, are supporting the research on delivering inclusive financial development and growth, and the ESRC and NSFC, who are supporting the research project on developing financial systems to support sustainable growth in China, the role of innovation, diversity, and financial regulation. I'd also like to thank the Centre for Global Finance team and the School of Finance and Management here at SOAS, and I'd particularly like to thank Victor, Gary, and Meng. Thank you all very much indeed for putting this together. I hope you have a very fruitful conference. There is no more important time, I think, than now to be thinking about these issues. And thank you for devoting your time to it. So it's a great pleasure for me to declare the conference open. And I think before I hand over to the Governor, we are going to pause to have a photograph. Is that correct, Victor? Yeah. Thank you all very much indeed.